Hello YouTube, I'd like to welcome everyone back here to the homestead. I'm Doc Wilkie, and what we have today is I'm going to show you how to make a self-watering planter, or you might want to call it a micro earth bucket. But it's going to be how to turn this into this. So, what you will need to make one of these is you will need a 2-liter bottle. Doesn't matter what brand it is, just a plastic 2-liter bottle with the lid. And you will need a pair of scissors, a magic marker. This is not necessary, but it makes life a little bit easier. It's just basically a box knife. You will need a drill with 2 drill bits. You'll need a small drill bit. Mine is 3/32 of an inch, but it could be everything from a 1/16 to no larger than an 1/8. And then the other one I will use is a 1/4 of an inch in diameter. But the first thing you will want to do is take your bottle with the label still on it, and right where the label comes into the bottle, you want to draw a magic marker line all the way around the bottle. Now, normally I would be facing the magic marker. I'm kind of doing this backwards just so you can see what I'm doing. That's one reason my line's not real straight, but it doesn't matter. But I'll draw it all the way around until it meets. Then I will rip the label off. Now, what I have found is easiest to do is to drill my holes before I cut the top off the bottom. And what you want to do is, with the lid screwed on tightly, you'll leave it on there, is you will drill a series of holes in the white cap, and you will drill a series of holes around here. This will allow you to, or the soil to absorb the water that will be down in here once we start putting it together. But what you will do is, you can see from here, it's just random holes, just from this point to the end with some in the white cap. And then you're going to drill your one larger hole somewhere along in here. In this case, mine happens to be right here. Now, one of the things that you're going to discover about this hole here, this hole is for your fill pipe. And if you just drill a round hole the size that you need and you stick it in there, it's going to do this. And you want it to be able to stand up straight. So what you need to do is, and what I did is I drilled a 1/4 inch hole. I then used a pair of scissors to cut it out oblong, like you see here. And that allows the pipe to go into the hole and then be able to stand straight up and down. But like I said, just a random number of holes. Go for it. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be spaced a certain distance. Just needs plenty of holes in there. First off, to breathe. And secondly, to absorb water up into the soil. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to drill a hole. Like I said, I used a 1/4 inch bit here, and I drilled it just above this line on these 2-liter bottles. Just about a 1/4 inch up, 1/4 inch hole. Right about there. You can see here, I've already pre-drilled the hole right above the line. And what this does is this allows air to get down into the bottom where the roots are. Also, it serves as a drain hole should this thing become overfilled with water. What's great about this is, and I'm making these up actually as gifts. I don't really use them here, but I do use earth buckets. And this is what spurred this concept, because it's a miniature earth bucket. These are for some plants for people who normally don't have a whole lot of luck with them. But the thing is, you can see through the plastic. You know when it has enough water, and you can't overwater it because whatever you put in there will merely flow out. If it's too much, only leaving enough water there for the plant. But you need to drill your holes. I found it a whole lot easier to drill these holes when the pop bottle's intact. If you tried to drill after you've cut it off, it's real flexible and it would be real hard to drill, and it'd be actually a little dangerous trying to drill your holes. So I would drill your holes before cutting it. Now, after you've drilled your holes, that's when I would come back with a box knife, and I would merely just puncture it with the box knife and then cut around the line with a pair of scissors until I have cut it off, and then you'll end up with two pieces like this. Now what I've done here is I come in on the bottom. I don't know how well this is going to show up. Maybe if I use the white paper. What I've done is I've come in here and I've cut a whole bunch of little slits, about a 1/4 inch deep, about a 1/4 inch apart. Just randomly, just come in here all the way around, and that allows the plastic to fold a little bit as I shove it down into the container. Now, your fill tube. I just merely held the tube up next to where I was at and cut it to length. It's the easiest way to do it. It's not rocket science. This happened to be some plastic tubing I had around here. I also make dowsing rods, and the company I order brass from to form my dowsing rods out of shipped some of these clear 1/2 inch plastic tubes, and so I just saved the tubes. Didn't know what I was going to do with it until all of a sudden I thought of this project. But I've seen people do something similar to this, and they use straws, drinking straws. Any tubing will do. If you don't have it around the house, I'm sure you can even pick up a little piece of clear tubing at your local hardware store. So it's no big deal. Now, after you got your holes drilled, in the case here, your hole cut for your pipe, what I do is I stick my pipe in there, and you can see, even though that hole's oblong, when it goes straight up and down, it fills the hole up. Dirt is not going to pass by the edges of the hole, so everything will be contained inside the plastic. But I then take and I just push it in by hand. Like I said, you cut little serrations around this part, and it allows it to collapse in on itself, and it just pushes all the way down to the bottom. Now the only other thing I do is I put the pipe in there, and I make sure that the pipe ends up at one of the lower points versus between them. So, and there you have it. It's all set. I have a second one here I've made, and now it's ready to put your soil in and put your plant, your seed in there, or else you could put a start in there. To fill these, I use a funnel, and I just pour it in with a measuring cup. Let you know, when these are completed, they hold about 2 cups, 2 measures of water in each container. But like I said, if you put too much in, it's just going to flow out that hole at the bottom. And so, you cannot overwater them. It's a great way to recycle some of your plastic bottles if you're not using them for water storage. And it's a little bit neat. If you don't want plastic bottles sitting around your house, you can take any kind of decorative paper or even old wrapping paper and wrap them to hide them, make them blend in with your interior of your house, or you can just sit them in your windowsill. So I hope you found this useful. It's just another project here from the homestead. I want to thank you for stopping by today, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, happy homesteading. Bye now.